Hopefully everyone is having a happy Friday so far. A good morning. It's nice and drizzly here. We got some rain going on today. Friday is just going to be rainy. It is what it is today. So the rhinos will probably spend a lot of time here under the patio. It looks like the gate is open back there, so they do have access to the main yard. The gate's open over here as well to the left. But we've got the rhino herd enjoying their coastal hay under here. For those that don't know, we have two different types of hay that we feed out here at Fossil Rim. The coastal hay and the alfalfa. The alfalfa tends to be for our browsing type species. And if you don't know what browsing versus grazing is when animals eat the grass from the ground, and browsing is when they reach up into trees. But yeah, these guys are eating their coastal hay, which is predominantly hay for grazers. Ooh, Raka getting a little feisty. Little feisty. Yeah, it's a lead sky kind of day. And I'm sure you can hear the rain dropping on our roof here, our little see-through roof. But yeah, we've got the all the girls and then their little guys. So we can start from the left here. I'm sure we'll have to do this again here in a little while, the names of the rhinos, but we've got Raka over here to the left. We've got Ursula and her kiddo Rocket right here. And then to the right, we have Xena and her little guy, Turbo. At least I think that's how everybody's spaced out. Yeah, looks that way. And then behind us, we have Kahari. So he's Rocket and Turbo's dad. We got any questions over there on TikTok yet there, JJ?
Oh, we don't have any questions yet, but feel free to ask away.
Yeah, same for YouTube over here and Facebook. If y'all have any rhino questions, feel free to ask. I've got a few little quiz questions that we can pop on here in a minute when we get a little bit of activity going. But yeah, well, the weather this weekend, for those that are interested, well, first of all, I guess let's do this. We always have a little bit of an intro of who we are. So we're Fossil Rim Wildlife Center. We are a conservation facility in Glen Rose, Texas. So we're probably an hour and 45, hour and a half, depending on where you're at in DFW, southwest. And we are a several thousand acre facility with semi-free ranging species like rhino. We've got lots of different ungulates, which we'll discuss what an ungulate or a hoofed species. We'll get into some of that in a minute. And then we have wolves and cheetahs and black-footed cats. So we got some carnivores living here as well. But yeah, the weather this weekend. Now let's turn around. We can look at the girls. The weather this weekend, you wouldn't know it from today, but it's going to be pretty. So we've got sunshine Saturday and Sunday with a high of 77 on Saturday. It's going to be real pretty. So if you're looking for a good opportunity to come out from DFW and hang out, this would be a good one, I think. Now, you know, the weatherman sometimes lies. And I was only looking at the Weather Channel. So you never know.
Shame on you.
I know. I should have done multiple sources, but yeah, it's supposed to be.
We got a couple questions over here.
Yeah, go for it.
Well, the first one was, this is the bowl, right? When we were in Kahari, and that is the bowl.
Yes. No, we're looking at the girls right now.
We're looking at the girls, and then another question: rhinos are not extinct yet.
Well, some of them are certain subspecies. So the northern white rhino is functionally extinct. There are two individuals, and I think they're both female, and there may only be the one individual now. Not 100% sure on that. But yes, there are still rhinos. They are not extinct. There are actually 5 different species of rhinos, and I want to challenge the comment section. Tell us what rhino species exist. How many there? Well, I already told you there's 5. What are those rhino species? Go. Because next week, so today is supposed to be Save the Rhino Day. At one time, Save the Rhino Day existed. I don't know if it exists anymore, but Save the Rhino Day existed at one time. Today is May 1st, Save the Rhino Day. Later, so next week is Keep the 5 Alive. It's a day to talk about the different rhino species. So we're getting close to Keep the 5 Alive. So I challenge y'all to name all 5 of those rhinos.
Jeff says black rhino.
Well, that's one of them.
A little more specific than
Yeah.
black rhino. We'll give
it to Jeff. Yeah.
Black rhino.
Now here,
Good job, Jeff. White rhino.
Yeah,
Jeff's 2 for 2 over here.
Jeff's on fire. He's on a heater.
Come on, Jeff. 3 for 3.
Come on, buddy. We believe in you. But yeah, here at Fossil Rim, we have the southern white rhino, and we have the south central black rhino. So JJ was giving Jeff a little bit of a hard time because could be a little more specific, but he still wins. So we will talk about a little bit of rhino digestion. You see in the back there, we got some big old piles of rhino dung. And that's not because our animal care specialists aren't cleaning up after them. They do. They get in here with tractors and they'll get that stuff out of here. But the interesting thing with rhino middens, as they call them, is that's how they communicate. But it is interesting that the rhino is one of the few ungulates that is not a ruminant. So for those that aren't familiar with what a ruminant is, like a cow, how they'll chew their cud, or a giraffe, they have a chambered stomach. Pigs, tapirs, rhinos, horses, they're hindgut fermenters, which sounds disgusting when you say it out loud. And it's probably kind of disgusting in general, but they're hindgut fermenters. So they process all of their food in their intestines, I guess, like we do. So are you a hindgut fermenter? I don't know how that works.
Even though we probably are, I just want to say no because it just doesn't sound like something I want to be.
It doesn't sound good. I know.
We'll leave it to the rhinos.
It's probably different because we eat meat as well. Oops, sorry guys. But yeah, the rhinos are hindgut fermenters, and their closest relatives are horses. So tapirs, horses. For those that didn't know that. Hey, we got Jonathan on Facebook. Thank y'all for joining us. We finally got a comment on Facebook. What's the deal, Facebook? But yeah, we'll go into a little. Last week we had someone bring up the fact that rhinos, they asked how many toes they have. They have 3 toes, if you can kind of. Well, we don't have a good shot of a foot. Maybe we have a good shot of a foot. Hang on. Oh, yeah, there we go. So you can kind of see the rhino toes. Thanks, Rocket. And so that makes them an odd-toed ungulate. There are odd and even-toed ungulates. Horses, also odd-toed. Tapirs, also odd-toed. But most of them, like bovids and a lot of the other species, they've got kind of the 2 toes. So you look at the bottom of a hoof, and it's kind of it has almost 2 separated areas, and so it makes them even-toed. So there we go. That's a fun fact for you,
That is a
JJ.
fun fact. I got what is the difference between the white rhinos we have here and the black rhinos we have here in terms of some biological differences?
Yeah, and we will get. I want to give a shout out real quick before we start that to Leanne over on Facebook. She said the 5 species of rhino are the white rhino, black rhino, greater one-horned rhino, which she did say just greater rhino, but I'll give her greater one-horned rhino.
Yeah.
And then Javan rhino and Sumatran rhino. So shout out to Leanne over on Facebook. Thank you for doing that. Oh, hey, we got Rocket and Raka getting into a little bit of a scuffle. You don't have to take that, Raka. You're bigger. Yeah. Nice. Don't be a little brat there, Rocket. So, do you want to cover off the differences in black rhino, white rhino? You want me to?
You
okay.
got it.
Okay. So, if we look at the white rhino here, right away we can see just how massive their heads are. So even on little Turbo here, they got big old heads and neck areas, right? So that is because their head is toward the ground. So most of the time they're grazing, like I mentioned earlier. The black rhino, their head sits up much higher and is not quite as thick around. Their heads are also much smaller, but they have pointy lips, and that neck being up higher allows them to browse. So they can reach up into trees, they can grab leaves and stuff. They can still reach down and graze, but not quite like the southern white rhino. You can see they've got that big, wide lip that allows them to just like vacuum up grass, and they'll rip up that grass and chew it with those kind of serrated teeth in the back. I've heard that they don't actually have front teeth. They just have the back kind of molars that are big chompers for chewing up all that grass that they get a hold of. So Jan did ask, do they have feeling in their horns? So I don't know exactly if they have feeling like, to the tip of the horn. I'm sure at the base it's very sensitive. But I do know that you can cut off a rhino horn and it grows back. So my assumption is it's not as sensitive further up the horn. And it is a way to protect the rhinos in the wild, even though I've heard that sometimes they're poached if they don't have a horn to get them out of the way, which is also very sad. But yeah, that is the shame of rhino poaching in the wild, is that it is a horn that grows back. So you know, uh, it is a shame that animals are killed for it, especially when it's just hair fibers.
Well, and another thing I read was with black rhinos, one of the reasons why they're not able to reintroduce them to the wild from other facilities is the issue of poaching.
Yeah.
And although they want to, get the population growing bigger,
why put them in a bad situation?
You can't put them in a bad situation and somewhere they're going to get poached.
Well, and there's a similar thought with like cheetahs, because there's habitat encroachment, right? Mm-hmm. And so in livestock predation is a problem with the cheetah. So they've tried different programs. Now there may be some reintroduction programs happening in Africa with the cheetah, but none from like facilities like ours. So rhinos, I would imagine, are similar, where you don't want to put them back in a bad situation. So you're trying to maintain the population that exists there and to help them. Last I saw, the black rhino maybe even on an increasing trend in some regions. Mm-hmm. Whereas the southern white rhino, these guys here, are still decreasing. 16,000, somewhere in that range in the wild, which, you think about the largest land mammal, the elephant, there's 100,000 individuals, and they get a lot of attention for being endangered, whereas these guys should get more. This is the second largest land mammal. They're a megafauna. They're an ancient species, and they should get more love than they get. So Save the rhino day or not, we should save the rhino.
Save the rhino.
Save the rhino. Keep the 5 alive. Beautiful creatures indeed. Dave asked, do their toenails need to be maintained? Uh, I don't know about the rhinos. I don't think so. I think that they do a pretty good job with those toenails. Either that or they just aren't designed to grow out crazy like other species, you know. I know we have to trim hooves on certain species. Some of them don't need the help, like the zebras. Um, in the preserve pasture, they're fine. Uh, the zebras in the other pasture, in the retirement area, they need a hoof trim every now and again. So um, I know we've had foot problems with other rhinos where they kind of get some tissue damage or something similar to that with the black rhinos, but that was one individual. So that may have been just genetic or a special circumstance. But beyond that, I don't know about the hoof trim. I don't even know that it's considered a hoof necessarily. Did you have a question over on TikTok?
Oh, there's a rocket out there with them.
Yes, Rocket is right here by Raka and Ursula. He's kind of sandwiched in between. He was the one that was kind of causing a fuss a second ago. He was trying to pick on Raka, and Raka showed him who was boss. Sometimes the ant has to throw her weight around, which 4,200 pounds. I don't think Rocket can compete with that yet. He's probably somewhere in the neighborhood of 3,500, but
well, he might be over. Might be him pretty soon.
It could be, yeah. And Kahari's not a big bull, so he's relatively small for rhino bulls. We have a different rhino bull in the back named Roscoe, he's a big boy. That's a big rhino. I don't know his weight, but I imagine it's probably somewhere in the neighborhood of 4,500. I don't know what Kahari is.
I heard somewhere in the ballpark of 6,500, something like that.
Oh, I know that they can get that big for sure. So they can get to be big old animals. And the crazy thing is they can still run relatively fast for weighing 6,000 pounds, right? So I mean, 35 miles an hour, throwing that kind of weight around is impressive. So we do want to shout out, we just had a rhino symposium here, as a matter of fact, over this last week. We had individuals from all over Texas, Oklahoma. We had a few folks from Atlanta, that apparently even some South Africans that were here at Fossil Rim to learn about rhino practices with them in situations like ours. So vet care, animal care in general. So I can't even go into great detail because it was all way too heady for me. But yeah, shout out to everybody that showed up for that. Shout out to our associate veterinarian, Julie, for putting it on, and all the folks here that went to great lengths to. And see, that's the thing about Fossil Rim that you don't see behind the scenes are the passionate people that are putting on programs for the sake of improving this creature's well-being, whether it's in the wild or in captivity. So these people care about these animals and are trying their best to help them in any way they can, whether that's improving care or otherwise. Pretty cool stuff. Genevieve says, "Hi, rhinos." We did get a look out of Ursula there, so I'm gonna choose to believe she was saying hi back.
Another trivia question for you guys is how far do you think rhinos can see?
I don't even know that answer off the top of my head. So JJ's got some knowledge that he's been working on here for this. JJ, enlighten us. How far? Or you want to wait for the comments?
I want to see if
Oh, okay.
somebody
Okay.
can,
We'll see. Yeah. So rhinos, I will say, have great hearing. They I know they can be in the back of the pasture, and I can yell out to old Turbo, Turbo, and you'll see those ears flick around. They've got those radar-looking ears that'll move around. Maybe the turkeys are talking to me this time, but yeah, they can hear really well. And usually, when someone's hearing is really good, they have a deficiency other ways. Maybe I don't know. Not the
Well, so far we've got not very good.
I
Don't think they have great vision.
I-
Well, you're on the right track.
You're on the right track.
It's a relatively low number of feet.
Yeah.
If anyone wants to take a guess.
I think I know, but yeah, I'm gonna wait. I want to see. Genevieve said I got to hear Turbo talking to his mom the other day,
Oh.
and right when I said that, Turbo kind of did his little.
So we got 10 feet.
That's my guess.
We got 2 feet.
2 feet.
Well, what your guess is 10 feet?
Yeah.
You would be correct.
Yeah. Vision is poor, says Anna.
Yeah. And
Yes.
if you see, the way their heads are, they're, looking over a far distance might not be the most important thing for them. Their eyes are to the side of their head and low to the ground. So they do have a great vision for their food, that's for sure.
Yes, which they're great at finding some grass. So and vacuuming up some grass. So
good job, Casey. By the way, Casey gets 10 feet.
Heck yeah! Way to go, Casey!
I had it quiet. Everyone guessed poor, so nobody was wrong. Nobody was like they have great vision.
But
2020.
But 10 was right on the money. We did have Dave ask, weird question. Do you use rhino dung or any animal manure for anything? Dave, I think you already knew that answer, but I appreciate you softballing us a question like that. Shout out to Dave. Yes, so the rhino manure is shoveled up. It is taken back to an area in the back where we have windrows for compost. It is turned into soil. It's sometimes used on hay fields, sometimes for like bedding soil, I think. But yes, it's compost. Oh, and look at that! Raka's going to give us a nice active representation of, well, no rhino dung. It looks like just a nice pea.
Oh my god!
Yeah, that's a lot of pee. It's a gallons.
Waterfall.
It's a waterfall.
It's pretty, I mean,
impressive.
I haven't seen it yet.
So yeah, this is first experience for JJ as well with the rhino pea. Thanks, Raka. Shout out to Raka. All right, guys. Well, that's about 20 minutes. We appreciate y'all joining us, hanging out on the Rhino Live. Save the Rhino Day is, we'll say it's Save the Rhino Day.
It's Save the Rhino Day every day.
It's Save the Rhino Day.
Save the rhino.
It's Save the Rhino Day every day. We want to save the rhino. And next week on 5/5, they used to call it Cinco de Rhino, which is fun. I think it's just Keep the Five Alive now. So yeah, Cinco de Rhino. Remember that, and tell a friend about all 5 species of rhino. That's what we need to do on.
Tell a friend about all these fun facts about rhinos.
Right? See, you're learning fun facts about rhinos that you can share with your friends, like they have 3 toes. All right. Well, y'all have a fantastic day, and we will see you next week at the giraffe herd. Thanks. See you later.